That's you.
Okay. How great was that with Sean Strickland?
Oh.
He has no filter. If you don't want to know the answer, don't ask the question, right?
Right. Well, and that's what I said. And Steve was going to tell you, and since he took the headset off, I think I told him I love him twice. You know, just his honesty and, I told you got to tell me if you want to. All right, you're on now. Go ahead. Say whatever you were going to say.
It's on record. Randy loves
Sean Strickland. All right, we'll get back to Sean Strickland in a minute. Let's finally, after we've dropped the ball a few times, let's welcome to the program Michael Cartellone. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We are doing fine. Thank you for your time, sir. Before we talk about the upcoming 50th anniversary tour, let's talk about what's going to happen next Thursday down south at the Wentworth Gallery inside the Hard Rock. Let's talk about your art expo.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. I am a lifelong painter. I was actually painting before I was strumming. And I have a relationship with Wentworth Gallery for 13 years now, actually. And next Thursday, the 20th, we are doing an exhibit of new works at it's at the Hard Rock Seminole Casino Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done some new paintings. The main one that I want to talk about is a painting called 50. And it's actually a tribute to Lynyrd Skynyrd and the 7 members that are on the first album, Pronounced. That, of course, came out 50 years ago.
Right.
So it is a portrait of the 7 guys. I'm very, very proud of this painting, and we have made 50 signed and numbered canvas reproductions of this that are available. And people can see it live in person at Wentworth Gallery, or they can actually just go on wentworthgallery.com and see the painting there. So that's one of the paintings. There's also a really cool Beatles painting, among some other things, and it's going to be a great exhibit.
I went on your website. I looked at some of the original artwork, and hopefully some of this will be down there as well. I want to get the carousel one for my granddaughter. I mean, it's perfect. She loves the carousel. The painting is outstanding. How do people, and there's a lot of things I still want to ask you about, how do people purchase if they can't get down, to the Hard Rock in Hollywood?
Yes, they just go on wentworthgallery.com, and you can there see all of the locations and contact information. So people can reach out and acquire stuff right through the website.
I'm curious, Michael, how long does it take to make a painting, and how long does it take for you to decide, I'm going to do a carousel this time, I'm going to do, the New York one that you did. How much thought process goes into that?
Well, the thought process actually is generally a lot longer than the painting process. In the instance of that carousel painting that you so kindly mentioned, the idea had popped into my head to paint a carousel and kind of freeze it in the middle of a very heavy winter day. So I spent a few years while the band was on tour taking photographs of every carousel I could find, just to find the right one that had the kind of the aged wooden horses, which is the look that I wanted. And I ended up finally finding the right carousel, and it's right here in New York City where I live, and it's in Central Park. But so the planning takes a long time, and I am not spontaneous at all when I paint. I do a lot of research, a lot of preparation, a lot of sketches, and by the time I start the painting, I can already see the finished thing in my head.
Wow. So that's a whole lot more than the stick figure paintings I do.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to see your stick figure.
Now you mentioned about the cold weather carousel. Is that because of your Cleveland, Ohio background?
I'm sure it has something to do with it. Yes.
Are you a fan of any other sports? Are you a fan of any of the Cleveland teams up there?
Well, I am a lifelong, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Cleveland Indians fan.
Perfect.
Because I was born and raised on it. But I have to say that even though I'm not crazy about the name, the new team is doing a wonderful job, and they are working hard. And yesterday I was actually wearing a Guardians T-shirt.
Ah.
So I'm doing my part to support it. However, my closet is filled with Cleveland Indians stuff.
Before I ask the next thing about Jacksonville and Lynyrd Skynyrd, it sounds like you are a baseball fan. I was a bat boy for the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm struggling with some of these new rules. I like the time clock, but I don't like that you're not able to do the switch anymore where you can put everybody on one side. And, you know, my theory is if you can't hit to the left side, that's your problem, not mine.
Well, truly. I have to say, I am enjoying the games running a little quicker.
Yeah.
I think that's nice.
For sure. Well, we were just in Jacksonville a couple weeks ago and we covered the UFC. And I went to the Pastime, which I didn't know, and I'm sure many people didn't know, is now the Jug, and a few other of the band sites. Talk about, you know, being a member for a long time.
Yeah, 26 years now. It's just been wonderful. You know, this is a band that I was a fan of when I was younger, and I still am a fan. But, you know, I mean, to be completely honest, I was in 7th grade playing Freebird in a garage band. So, you know, fast forward a bunch of years, it is not lost on me to get to play these songs for a living. I mean, I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky. And it has been a wonderful stretch of time. I've made great friends and lost great friends. Gary Rossington, rest in peace. But, you know, I mean, to be a part of something that is truly iconic. I mean, you know, is there a more famous American song than Freebird? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So Michael, along those lines, I'm currently in Brazil. I'm at my family's restaurant this afternoon, and all the waitresses and staff are wearing bandanas, pulling out bandanas and boxes. I said, "What's going on?" They're like, "Tomorrow's International Rock Day," and I told them that I was interviewing you today, that you were going to be on the program. I played Freebird in the middle of a packed restaurant in Brazil, and the eruption and the excitement of the crowd. So what's it like on a global scale? Obviously, we know Lynyrd Skynyrd is massive in the U.S., but what other countries do they love you just as much?
Well, you know, ironically, and you may already know this because you're there right now, we are playing in Sao Paulo in late September. I imagine it's been announced by now, but it hasn't.
If not, it has been now.
It has.
Oh, no, I know. I'm kidding.
So yes, you know, the Skynyrd worldwide appeal is really amazing. You know, certainly the band has worked more here in the States than it has internationally. But when we do go abroad,
Eric Singer.
it's really an incredible experience. And you know, you see people that it almost seems like they never even expected they would see the band live, and you get that kind of electricity from the audience. And you know, I mean, we've done some unbelievable shows. You know, 100,000 people at some of these outdoor European festivals. It's really, really exciting. And I personally love touring internationally because I'm Sicilian. I have a lot of family there, and it's great for me to be able to kind of turn the tour into a little vacation as well.
Michael, let me ask you this. We just went down, my producer does a lot with the Scorpions. We're both friends with Mickey D. We went down to Columbia. We went to the Kiss Scorpions concert, and I watched Mickey D on stage watching the drummers from Deep Purple and Eric Singer from Kiss. Talk about how you guys all are like one big happy family. You're watching each other drummers and enjoying that. I got a big kick out of watching them watch other drummers.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it is a really cool brotherhood and sisterhood of drummers. I don't know if other instrumentalists share this same um, um, respect and appreciation, but you know, Eric Singer, you just mentioned, he and I are both from Cleveland.
Yep.
So I've known him forever. And Ian Pace, one of my favorite drummers.
He was there, Deep Purple.
Skynyrd and Deep Purple have worked together many, many times in the past. We opened for them on tour in Europe. They opened up for us here in the States. And yeah, you know, the thing about drumming is you're always learning. There's always something cool that you haven't thought of that your friend did, and it's always very motivating to watch it. No question.
So Michael, along those lines, collaboration in the music scene doesn't happen with you guys. What about a collaboration in the art scene with Paul Stanley, as he's a massive art painter and gallery displayer as well?
Yeah, Paul is a wonderful painter. I've known Paul, I met Paul back when we had Damn Yankees going, so I've known him a long time. And Paul was the one who made the introductions with myself and Wentworth Gallery, because Paul is a Wentworth Gallery artist as well. And that's kind of a fun idea. You know, I will tell you that many years ago, CNN did a really cool segment about musician painters, and they introduced a lot of us that maybe people weren't aware that dabbled in both, and they interviewed on camera Paul and then myself. So we were kind of the bookend interviews, and then they spoke about people like Ronnie Wood, who's a painter, Ringo Starr is a painter, Tony Bennett is a painter. There's a lot of musician painters out there.
Before we run out of time, let's talk about the tour itself. Lynyrd Skynyrd with ZZ Top coming to South Florida on the 21st. You're coming here to Tampa next Friday, which we hope to be in attendance. My family that lives in Roswell, Georgia, is going next weekend to see you up in Atlanta. Talk about the tour itself, what obviously fans can expect. I'm sure they know, but let's let them know anyway, even more, what it's like to tour Lynyrd Skynyrd and what they can expect to see.
Well, this year they can expect to see quite the spectacle because, as I mentioned, this is the 50th anniversary, so we have created a wonderful new show. We have all new video that we're using with some really cool content, new staging, new lighting, new gear. The song list, we have pulled some songs, some favorites, off of the old records and really changed the show up a lot. So, even for the people that have seen the band many times before, this is going to be kind of a new experience for them. And the fact that we're sharing the stage with our old friend ZZ Top is going to make for a great summer. And we're really excited to kick it off in Florida next weekend.
We're going to end on this, and hopefully it doesn't make me look too stupid. So when we were in Jacksonville a couple weeks ago, I mean, I'm just an old guy. I listened to music in the 70s, in the 80s. I love music. I could probably sing very badly. I could probably sing a song and have no idea what the words were saying. So when we went to the Jug 2 weeks ago, and the lady working the bar came out and was explaining everything, that this is exactly where it happened, and this is where he stood when he said, "Give me 3 steps." And it honestly, at 60-some plus years old, it has changed my life in listening to music. I've never looked at it that way, and now I do.
Yeah. And when you're standing right in the place where the song, inspiration came, that's pretty amazing.
Crazy.
That's very, very cool. What a great experience.
Michael, thank you very much for your time. I know that we have your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong, a bunch of really cool swag, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend here in Tampa.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys inviting me on.
Thank you, sir. Michael Cartellone, the drummer of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Let's hit a real quick break. When we come back, a little slap action with Dwayne Crespo. We'll be right back.